My name is Alex, and my brother destroyed my life just to save his own. He was the golden boy, a decorated police officer, the pride of our family, the man who saved lives. And me? I was a college dropout struggling to find direction. But I never imagined he would be the one to betray me. It all started on a Thursday morning when I woke up to the sound of sirens outside our apartment. There were cops, at least 5 of them. And my brother, Officer Nathan Turner, was standing with them. Not in plain clothes, in full uniform. Alex Turner, a cop barked, stepping toward me. You're under arrest for possession with intent to distribute. What? Are you serious? My hands were yanked behind my back. Cold cuffs tightened around my wrists. I looked at my brother. He couldn't meet my eyes. They dragged me out. Cameras flashed. Neighbors stared. It was the most humiliating moment of my life. But the worst part? I was innocent. They said they found a stash of fentanyl in the basement, a place I never went to. They said someone tipped them off. And all the paperwork, the evidence, the warrant, it was all signed off by my own brother. In jail, I kept replaying it over and over. Why would Nathan do this? What did I do to deserve it? And then I remembered just a week before, he had asked to borrow $5,000. Said he owed some dangerous people. I refused. I didn't have the money. But clearly, he found another way out. In court, I tried to defend myself. I begged, I cried. But the jury trusted a clean-cut cop over a directionless college dropout. I was sentenced to 3 years. Prison broke something in me. I lost friends. Our parents stopped calling. But the worst betrayal, my own brother never once visited. Then something happened. 2 years in, I got a letter. No return address. Inside was just a photograph. My brother handing a duffel bag to a man I recognized. A known dealer. And a note. Still think he's a hero? That photo changed everything. I hid it. Waited till I got out. When I was finally released, I didn't go home. I went straight to internal affairs. I showed them everything. What followed was chaos. Investigations. Surveillance footage. Witness testimonies. Turns out my brother wasn't just a crooked cop. He was running a side business, seizing drugs in raids and reselling them on the street. He used me as the perfect scapegoat when things got tight. When the news broke, the entire city was stunned. The headline screamed, "Decorated officer, exposed by own brother." And me? I became a symbol of corruption, of justice, of betrayal. But none of that changed the fact that my life had been stolen. To this day, I live with the scars, not physical ones, but emotional. The betrayal of blood cuts deeper than any knife. So when people ask me, would you ever forgive him? I tell them, he framed me. He threw me to the wolves. He doesn't get forgiveness. He gets justice. And that's a story the world needed to hear. When my brother got arrested, the entire city exploded. He wasn't just a cop. He was the cop everyone trusted the face of local law enforcement. And now, he was in handcuffs because of me. The media went absolutely insane. Headlines like, "Heroic brother turns in dirty cop. Police family torn apart. Betrayal or justice." A camera surrounded our house. News vans lined up outside my job. Even people I hadn't seen in years started messaging me. "Hey, man, I saw you on TV. You good?" I always knew something was off about him. But none of it mattered to me. Because while the world was treating this like entertainment, I was still bleeding inside. He took 2 years of my life. 2 years behind bars for something I didn't do. 2 years of isolation. 2 years thinking my own brother would never do something like this. And now that the truth was out, You'd think I'd feel relieved. I didn't. It felt empty. At the first court hearing, I saw him again. Same cold eyes. Same smug smile. He looked like he was still in control, even with handcuffs on. He looked at me like I was the one who betrayed him. You seriously think you're clean in all this? He whispered to me when we passed. You're just as dirty, you just don't know it yet. What did that mean? A week later, I got a call from a blocked number. If you think taking your brother down is the end of it, think again. I froze. It wasn't his voice. It was someone else. Someone connected. They didn't call again. But suddenly, I noticed cars parked outside my apartment for hours. Strangers following me at the grocery store. People looking at me like they knew something. I started sleeping with a bat under my bed. Was this just paranoia? Or was I messing with something much, much bigger? My brother didn't act alone. He never had that kind of power on his own. There were others. Other cops. Other names. And now that he was out of the picture, they were scared. Not because of him, but because of me. I was the one who could bring them all down. I had a choice. Keep quiet. Let the system bury it. Or pull the whole rotten foundation down with him. I chose war. I met with internal affairs. I gave them everything I knew. Names, phone numbers, patterns, even a recording my brother once drunkenly left on my voicemail, laughing about how easy it was to bury evidence. They opened a full investigation. And then everything spiraled. Someone broke into my apartment. Nothing stolen, just trashed. Papers everywhere. My computer destroyed. My dog missing. 2 days later, I found him tied up outside a gas station. Shaking, but alive. That was the message. You're getting too close. I should have stopped. But now I had to finish what I started. I moved in with a friend. Got protection. Kept working with the investigators quietly, carefully. Within 2 months, 5 more officers were suspended. And the story broke wide open. This wasn't just one bad cop. This was a network of corruption. My brother was the tip of a rotting iceberg. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, family, former friends. Even the chief of police. My brother sat across from me for the last time. And when the judge read the sentence, 15 years without parole, he didn't even blink. He just turned to me and mouthed, "I should have finished you when I had the chance." I thought that was the end. But as I was walking out of the courtroom, a young woman stopped me, tears in her eyes. "You don't know me," she said. "But your brother, he ruined my life too." She told me everything. How he falsified evidence to get her father deported. How he blackmailed her into silence. She wasn't the only one. More people came forward, one after another. And just like that, I realized this wasn't just justice for me. It was justice for all of them. It's been 6 months. The media stopped calling. The cameras disappeared. But the impact didn't. I speak at schools now about corruption, truth, and family. I help people who were wrongfully convicted. And most nights, I sleep in peace. But sometimes, just before I close my eyes, I remember his smile. That look that said, I was supposed to win. He didn't. Sometimes the biggest betrayals come from those who swore to protect you. Justice isn't easy, but it's worth everything. Write in the comments who watched this moment. I never thought I'd see my own brother in handcuffs. But there he was, standing trial for framing me. And maybe for even more than that. He used to protect people. Now, he was the one everyone needed protection from. Chipochi's bullet. When I sat across from him in that courtroom, he didn't look ashamed. He looked angry. Angry at me for telling the truth. My mom cried for hours watching the news. My dad, he just stood there, silent, staring at the screen like something inside him had cracked open. Then it happened. My brother's lawyer dropped a bomb. My client wasn't acting alone. He had help from someone with authority. The courtroom froze. All eyes turned to the back, where my father was sitting. Flashbacks hit me like a freight train. Our childhood, the secrets, the weird silences. Was he hiding something all these years? That night, they arrested my dad, too. Turns out, he covered up evidence. He protected my brother. Let me rot. Just a few months, I lost my brother, my father, and the only thing I ever believed in, my family. But through all the pain, I found something else, and I found the truth. And sometimes, the truth is all you've got left. Some scars never fade, but they remind us who we are. Thank you for watching. If you've ever been hurt by someone close, you're not alone. Subscribe for more.